Hey everybody, hope your day is going well. We are back with another reaction. We're going to check out an interview with Sir Richard Starkey, Ringo Starr, of course, legend, legend. And today is the 6th of July, so tomorrow, the 7th, is his birthday at noon. Peace and love, people. Peace and love. But I saw this interview pop up. It's pretty recent, just from at least the post. The upload date is a few days ago. So I guess it's from 2025. Let's check it out.
There's a lot of good music out there, it's a lot of style out there. You've got to just do it and, no one can give it to you. Enjoy it, do it the best you can. And that's what it's about.
And have fun.
That's it.
Yeah, you've got to have fun.
Man, he looks awesome. 85 tomorrow.
This
Happy
is very
birthday, my
special to
man.
us, so thank you on behalf of the sessions for doing this and sharing your wisdom with us.
Well, let's just say I'm talking.
Yeah, well, no, you're sharing your wisdom.
I love his humor.
And congratulations on all the success. Man, you've been so busy. The new album, Look Up, #1.
Yeah.
The TV show, the Ryman
Wait,
TV show,
which TV show?
Grand Ole Opry. How was
I need
that?
to check that out.
Far out. I played the Ryman several times, and I still get a moment there, because that's where it was. When I was a lad, that was the head.
The place.
The country palace.
Right.
And
Place
then
to be.
the Grand Ole Opry invited me.
That's a special club.
It is, yeah. And anyway, it was really special to me.
You're so busy all the time, even today, doing a whole bunch of interviews, and you're always out doing something. What motivates you? What keeps you motivated?
Well, I've got a tour coming up. I've got the Peace and Love moment coming up.
You got a tour coming up? Wait a second.
I didn't have to do that.
I will need to have to check that. See, I can't even talk anymore. I'm going to have to check out those dates after this video, because I've been missing out, man. I'm discovering artists here, and I don't really, leave my house for stuff like that anymore. I just, I've whatever, different conversation. But, the day after, I found out John Fogerty was here in Belgium. Now, I would have left my house for Mr. Fogerty. I will leave my house for Ringo Starr. And then a few days later, I saw, hey, there was a concert of Neil Young. Missed it. Oh, man. All right, I'm going to have to look those dates up.
This yesterday, I had a whole
Note to
day.
self.
You know what I mean? When it's on, you're there to promote it. That's what you do.
Let's talk about the peace and love movement that you pretty much created on your birthday.
Yeah.
We all know on July 7th at 12 noon all around the world, even in space.
Yeah, I know that.
That was
how great the astronauts.
I mean, that was that was a couple of years ago when they first did it. That was incredible. You keep that going,
awesome.
and why is that important to you? Because
peace and love is important. I think it's a better world if you're in a peace and love world. While this madness is going on, you can have a moment, and that's how it is.
the point of the sessions and the interviews we do at the sessions is advice for the younger generation. Now, I remember a couple of years ago you told me your granddaughter was in a band called Bella Kiss. Did you give her any advice when she was starting in this industry?
Enjoy it, and she's a bass player. And now one of my grandsons is in a band. But he does have fun anyway. He's a cool guy. And I say, just, go on there, hit those drums, have a great time. And that's all I can tell you, really.
When did you finally get into learning about the business? Like when Brian took over, it's been known that he might have been the greatest businessman, but he had good intentions.
Yeah, in the early days, Brian did that, and we did this.
Right.
And it wasn't until Brian died that we have to look after ourselves. We came up with Apple, and we had a few stars, James Taylor's first record. We had a discussion, and it sort of broke up a bit, but now it's back and rolling.
How important is it for the younger generation to learn about the business?
Well, you'd like to think every manager is going to look after you, but it's still not true. I mean, and compared to like Chuck Berry and that era, where guys would just write their names as writers of the song.
Right.
And the manager would take
wild,
everything. And so Chuck, who has the great one, they just gave him a car every year.
Right, I know, and they were happy. It was, and you heard your
but
song.
But he kept them, and, So that was good. But,
And you heard your song on the radio, so you're not really paying attention.
well, yeah, and you're getting gigs and you're doing what you love to do, you know?
Did you learn a lot from George Martin business-wise
No.
about making records and
No,
being...
about making records, but, you know, it's not being crazy or anything. We did some days have to fight for what we wanted to put on record, and which we wanted John and Paul's stuff, writers. And he'd always bring a song, and we'd say, no, we want to do Paul and John's stuff. And he went along with it, but every song he brought us, he'd give to Billy this and Bobby that. And
Right.
it was a hit. It was a good song,
Hey.
and he felt it had merit to go in the chart.
Man,
but we
new music,
wanted to
though,
do
huh?
ours.
What is a few of your proudest
Great producer.
moments?
Well, one of the most exciting was we made a record, and you know we did go through. I went through hell personally because George Martin had this Andy White there, a session drummer. Anyway, he didn't know they changed drummers, and I was coming, and I made him apologize every day. Yeah, and I've got a lot of footage on George. He has that great line. He said, you know, and the Beatles did this, and somebody said to him, "Oh, did you have a click track?" He said, yes, we did. Ringo, his name was.
Right.
Oh,
Because God
hey.
gave me just great
Hey.
time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jeff Lynne, they did a documentary on him. And Jeff would call me over, could you play on this track? Because we live close. And I'd
Nice.
go over and say,
Legendary.
oh, just
yeah.
let me get the click. I said, Jeff,
No
I
need.
am the damn click.
Yeah.
Not quite
yeah,
speaking
Speaking
yeah,
of,
click.
this is a great shot of you.
Yeah.
That
Man, yeah, Jeff Lynne is a genius too, man. I've been discovering ELO too. It's amazing music.
just happens to be
And who
there.
took it?
Terry.
What a
Oh,
great
Terry
O'Neill.
O'Neill. Okay.
Do you have any recollection of what you're...
No, I don't know where we
You
are.
look like you're
But
in
Terry
deep
took a lot of
thought.
pictures. He also took, 44 years ago, our wedding pictures.
To me, you were the ultimate
Wow.
studio musician. You really were.
Well, if you want to
Because-
insult me. Okay.
No, but it was because you always came up, you listened, and then the Get Back films, when that came out and they
Yeah, that was-
showed,
yeah.
most drummers are usually banging on the drums.
Yeah.
You were like a machine before
Yeah,
machines.
well, you know, I asked,
Yeah, the Get Back documentary was I loved that, man. It was like being a fly on the wall. We always want to be that is as close as you're gonna get to being in the studio with the Beatles. Really nice, and Ringo definitely had this type of demeanor that he's talking about. And I've said this before. I don't know if it's a fair assessment. If you only watch the Get Back documentary and somebody would tell you who is the quiet Beatle or ask you, I would have said Ringo, and of course that would have been wrong. But if you watch that only, then it's like, there's a case to be made there. But of course, that's a snapshot in time.
Peter Jackson, because I don't know how I got to that marching shuffle thing. Dunk, dunk,
Oh, and Get Back.
Bang, bang, ducky, 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 duck. A lot of that film, early days, I'm just like tapping the cymbal, like some timing for them writing it, trying to find the chords. And he
Right.
found this footage, so it's me playing straight rock. Go back. And then I go back. I play fours. And we don't have the way I went to. I don't know, because it's been asked a million times. I don't know how I got to that. It just happens. And
Yeah.
a lot of the way I play just happens. After the time, I'll keep the time and play rock or shuffle or whatever. And then I'll come in wherever I come in.
Because you feel it from your heart.
Yeah, I only feel it.
That's why you have perfect timing.
Yeah, man.
Because your feel, everybody tried to copy your feel.
He's got it in
I mean,
innate, an innate
Well, you talk to
timing
Jim.
mechanism.
Jim is my favorite drummer.
Yes.
And we only have that. And I play on the back side of that. And he plays nearly on the back side.
I know, he's very laid back in his approach.
When we did masterclass, I was telling the kids, look, I don't want you to play like me. You know, I want you to find your own way. But, you know, you can play like that. And I had Greg do it. It's madman. And then I said, oh, you can play like Jim, like this. And Jim's like, which one shall I hit?
Oh, that's like the Hal Blaine story when George brought you the kit
Yeah,
with all the toms.
it is, yeah.
I love that story.
Too much? What you hit with all of that?
How is this man
Wow,
85
take
years
him
old?
down.
I love that. I love that. Being one of the most famous people on the planet, you
Okay.
are. You are.
There's
You
100
definitely
of
are.
us now.
Is there anyone that you haven't met that you would
No.
like to meet?
No, I've met a lot of people.
think you met
I'll meet
everybody,
a lot
right?
more, you know. I don't sit there saying, oh, you know.
What about working with? Is there anybody that you still would like to work with?
No. I'm working with a lot of cool musicians.
You work with, yeah.
You just look at
it's
the
only
time.
the best.
You know, so.
Do you listen to music for enjoyment, like when you're driving in the car?
In the car mainly. And right now, of course, we're listening a lot to Look Up in Barbara's car. Actually, in the car, I'll give them a good plug, 88.5, a radio station in LA. I listen to that because they play 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. You know, they play such a mixed bag. And they have all these great DJs.
Do you flip on Sirius sometimes and hear a song?
That's exactly what I try to do on my main music reaction channel. Is just explore music from all the decades that he named and try to do some contemporary stuff, and it is so much fun. It is so much fun.
Song that brings back a certain memory? And
I do, and I also hear odd songs I love, and there's a lot of good music out there, you know, it's a lot of style out there. You've got to just do it, and, you know, no one can give it to you. Enjoy it and do it the best you can, and that's what it's about.
and have fun.
Yeah, you've got to have fun.
Let's talk about your foundation, the Lotus Foundation.
The Lotus Foundation is doing very well, thank you. Peace and love to everybody who supports us. Something Barbara and I started. I made a decision. If you send a big, glossy manual about your charity, I'm not giving you any money because you spent a fortune on these manuals, you know. And we've helped a lot of people besides WaterAid and, you know, big companies that need support. Paid the phone bill on some people, and we paid the rent for a year, only a year or 3 months. We want to start something that is giving, you know, and kind. Mm-hmm. And so that's the great thing of it being ours, is that we sit round and we decide what it's going there.
Right, and
we're there.
It goes to different people. It's not just one.
No, there's like 5 we do
Right.
no matter what, and the rest we choose.
Right. What do you think of social media?
Yeah, well, you know, you've got to love it because you're all part of it now. It's so huge. I have my own site and I put stuff on, and, you know, 90% they love me and they love what, and they laugh or they smile at what I put on.
Who's hating on Ringo?
Or I'm plugging something. But there's always one bastard out there, and I never let them get to me.
No.
I mean, it's like, I know people say, oh, it said this. So what? You know, someone from you don't even know where from. They could be your neighbor, or they could live in another country. I don't let that get to me.
No,
With all your wisdom and knowledge and experience, any closing thoughts for the next generation?
Do what you want to do. I was working in a factory playing drums, and then they changed the law, and I was in a good band, Rory and the Hurricanes, and we got a 3-month gig in a holiday camp, and I left the factory and changed my name.
Hey,
and
man.
Things have been good since then.
And I know your
gotta take a
parents
risk sometimes,
your
too.
stepdad and your mom were very into you, encouraging
Well, I
you.
came from a family that liked to party, shall we say, at the weekends, and everybody was singing songs, and, you know, so that's where a sentimental journey came from.
Right.
You know, I was sitting in the garden after we split up thinking what to do, and I don't know. I just thought, I'll do those standards. You know, a lot of people came out, supported us, and George Martin put it together. And, you know, then you move on, you know. Then I did the country one, then I did the rock one. Then while I'm doing that, George is producing me doing a photograph of Back Off Boogaloo. One fun story with George, we're doing, I think it was Back Off Boogaloo, it's one of the songs. And I came in F Demented. And he says, and where are we going from there?
Well, on behalf of the sessions, thank you so
the
much.
sessions. Peace and love.
Yes.
There it is.
If you want to do it, you got to try and do it. It's no good just sitting on the couch thinking, I want to do this and not getting off. Yeah.
Sometimes you like hit
Hey,
the
yeah,
sessions.
sometimes we need a kick in the ass, and Ringo just gave it to us. Get off the couch and do it if you want to do it. You know, and peace and love at noon, 7th of July. I'm definitely gonna think about that, man, and meditate on it a little bit. We can use it these days. Uh, Maybe now more so than in quite a long time. Hey, Ringo, absolute legend. I could listen to him talk all day. Definitely gonna check out more of the older interviews as well, and the other guys with the Beatles too, of course. Always interesting to hear them talk and get some insights and wisdom and stuff, and just entertainment as well, right? All right, thank you for being here, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.